生人都要破地獄㗎，生人都好多地獄。
The Last Dance, 破地獄, Breaking Hell's Gate in Chinese translation, will be for sure Hong Kong's biggest ever hit in the century-long history of Hong Kong cinema, breaking records after records. In this video, I'll discuss about the meaning of the film. What is Breaking Hell's Gate? Why has it been so popular? And above all, how it has changed the life of many who have seen it, including myself. The Last Dance is a film that is self-reflective, introspective, and deeply poignant, yet uplifting drama about the real meaning of life and death. Further in the video, I will also take you on a short journey from film to reality of a Chinese Hakka funeral ceremony of my beloved grandfather, who only just passed away 2 months ago. It's a beautifully crafted, touching film, with some light moments thrown in at the right time that will appeal to audiences all around the world. It is one of those rare films where it transcends culture and race. I must share with you some of the very thought-provoking, soul-searching Chinese quotes from the film. 眼淚不要滴在先人身上，先人會捨唔得離開嘅。你都要當自己係寶啊！人生就係好像一程車，其實個重點唔係上車的人可以陪你去哪個站，而是你們一起欣賞過那風景。人一出世就喺度倒數㗎啦，有機會來到這個世界已經賺了，何必介懷什麼時候下車呢？不如好好欣賞沿途呢個風景。在世的人的感受才是最重要的。其實唔係淨係死人嘅超度，生人都需要破地獄嘅，生人都有好多地獄嘅。Anson Cheung is both the young writer and director, has created a masterpiece, and bravely filmed this topic around the funeral business. It is the most taboo topic in Chinese culture, death. Breaking Hell's Gate basically involves a Taoist priest rushing into hell with a fiery sword that breaks Hell's Gate, thus freeing souls of the dead and helping them reincarnate. It's considered a mainstream ritual in Hong Kong funerals. Breaking Hell's Gate is even listed on the first intangible cultural heritage inventory of Hong Kong. This topic is discussed in depth, and you will see how Taoist funeral rituals are performed in depth, with rants, music, fire swords, ensuring evil spirits are repelled. The film hits its peak when a myriad of human films are played through a number of very different customers and human family conflicts between the main characters. For me, the most touching moments are about those who have left behind, the living, and the challenges they or we faced during our daily lives. Topics covered in this film briefly yet expertly include not willing or able to let go of a young boy's death from the mother's point of view, a true and romantic lesbian love to the very last moment, brotherly sister conflict, feminism, tradition versus modernity, capitalism and greed, the Hong Kong crazy educational system, migration to Melbourne, pregnancy in your late 40s, the father and daughter's endless fights, the responsibility of looking after old parents, the sad state of the current Hong Kong economy, the love of an old neighbourhood soup lady, just to name a few of the topics covered in this masterpiece of a film. Each actor or actress plays their roles to perfection, and the casting is wonderful. Many will win awards for these films. For those of you that have seen the film, this Maserati will have a deeply funny and yet meaningful. Paper offerings is a huge part of the rituals. In essence, it is to give present to those who are living in another life. It combines capitalism with traditional thoughts, with the feeling of helping those in another world, a big part of the belief in Taoism. But the future for paper offering is bleak. With environmentally friendly generation coming through, it could change in the future. We shall see. Each actor and actress played their role to perfection, and many will win awards for this film. and in many cases will be likely to define their acting career. Michelle Wei, for me, stands out above all as the daughter, whilst the supporting actresses made me cry more than once, especially the mother who lost her son. I did a lot of location walking around Hong Kong just to get a feel of the place, the vibe, and the place where a lot of these rituals happen. In essence, in Hong Kong is one of the main places where the ceremony takes. No one truly expected the success of this film. A film, Hong Kong, that is not about triads like elections or a Stephen Chow type of slap comedy, nor some kind of heroic bloodshed of John Woo, or even a romantic story such as The Autumn Tale, or for sure the action of Donnie Yen or Jackie Chan. And yet it is about a Chinese taboo topic. Death, to be this popular, has taken the whole city by surprise. There are now exhibitions dotted around different parts of the city, from Causeway Bay to Sham Bowl, of location points, of pictures, of gifts, of the costumes they wore. And the director has even promised an extended director's cut long version, which will be out in December next month as well. Here we have the location, another one, outside of Hong Kong, where actually this was pretending to be a hospital. A scene where Michelle Wei is smoking with her lover outside, talking about life. What I like is actually there's a climbing wall out here. And I went inside the library here, and it's fabulous. Yun Zhou Gok Library Municipal Centre. Behind is the Prince of Wales Hospital. With my white t-shirt, I do look like a nurse, a male type. A couple of scenes here, which actually did not happen in the film, but with which would have been a wonderful ending. Donghua Yizhong, Donghua Hospital Coffin House, a very historic building, which I had the pleasure and the luck to visit during last year in my Hong Kong U course. Inside is the feeling of a heavenly type of house, very tranquil and yet very convenient to the city centre. Its role in the history of Chinese migration and those who worked and left Guangdong all over the world, especially in the Americas during the last couple of centuries, and making sure that bones were carried back to the homeland was absolutely vital. Nobody wants a ghost floating around in the middle of nowhere, a hungry ghost. They must return home to wherever they came from. In most cases, Guangdong, and this is where the coffin home. Back in the day, the bodies will be shipped, put in the coffin, and back to Guangdong from America, a very far and long journey. We even managed to go into a room where they kept the bodies and did some makeup. This was an eye-opener, and the first time I've been in such a room.
And they have to be trained, so that's why we have these dummies right here.
For the best part of his film career, DAYO Wong has been box office poison. And a film about death is pretty much looks like also box office poison in the making. And yet, this film has taken the city and eventually the world by storm. As I was walking around Hong Kong, this was a feminist scene I've seen in many Hong Kong films. On the right hand side were police, all gay, and the left hand side were a lot of triads outside the funeral parlour. Wow, that's a scene straight out of a Hong Kong typical movie. And I was walking right in the middle and getting real stares from both sides. People were thinking, who is this dude? Masoya. Since I can remember, anything remotely related to death is a no-go topic. And you literally run away from it if you hear it, see it, near it. This brainwashing act, which has been passed from generations, basically through thousands of years of Chinese history, is pretty much normal. And yet, in my view, in the modern day, pretty unhealthy, too conservative, and actually does not help the healing process in any way. Now, we're in DAYO, a town in New Territories, and we're taking a minivan. It's free, one of the very few things that is, shall we say, free in Hong Kong. And we're going up a very picturesque route up to where the memorial of my grandfather will take place. Beaufort Memorial. It was opened in 1993, set in the middle of the mountain, and is the only memorial centre in the whole of New Territories. So it caters for millions of people. And here I am reflecting as I enter the entrance of a place which I've actually been quite a few times. first time I went, I did feel quite uncomfortable, but after numerous times, even going up this lift is not uplifting, but you get used to it. Today, I visited a friend who works there in a shop, selling on the 4th floor, selling last minute things that you might need for any typical Chinese Taoist funeral procession. Clothing. These clothings I'm looking at are made from special cloths, costing over 4,000 or 5,000 for the set. Pretty pricey if you ask me. A lot of joss sticks, a lot of paper burning, which is all vital and Taoist tradition. But how would it go in the future? Will people still burning be so much in this environmentally clean society? Walking around the area, building up to the procession, people preparing in different halls. There are lots and lots of halls, middle size, small size, and the biggest halls downstairs, which can cater for 100, 200 people. White clothing, as you saw, vital as well. You can buy most of the stuff here, including coffins. It is pretty much a one-stop process in which the whole funeral of your loved ones will be taken care of in different packages, depending on your needs and, of course, on how much you can afford it. No, right now I'm in the funeral parlor. You see the things which are burning for my grandfather's funeral. So, see, it's going to be over there. And inside, it's the funeral. So I'm wearing dress white with my parents. So all of this will be burnt later as well. So I've been here since 3 o'clock. In the next videos coming up, I will cover more iconic Hong Kong movies from the 70s, 80s and 90s, including this one, Leslie Cheung, Go, and Anita Mui. See you next time.嚟到呢個世界已經賺咗啦，何必介懷什麼時候落車呢？不如好好欣賞沿途嘅風景。Let's enjoy this life. Quote, the last dance.